So this is another example of a level that I think is absolutely fucking beautiful. Um, I guess to answer your question from earlier, which level has come to mind for this game? This one, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, just look at it. Look at the way the rocks glow.
The rocks are nice. I think the last level was a lot better. Maybe I'm just looking. It's because we're in this part of it where it's filled with lava, so I guess it's not quite as.
Well, I mean, you're inside a volcano, so
Fair
there'll
point.
probably be a few parts that are full of lava. I mean, the second act, Spoiler Earth, is a lot sort of more serene and beautiful.
So, for the benefit of our audience, between this episode and the last episode, Alan showed me Sonic Dash.
Sonic Dash, yeah.
Sonic Dash, and I thought it looked really beautiful.
Yeah.
The old floating islands in the background, where you can see like it's got the loops
Like the upcoming like track.
Yeah, they're wonderful. I thought it looked really nice. And
I think
it's
that
a couple
kind
of
of
quid,
game.
is that right?
Well, I downloaded it when it was free, so I don't know how much it is because they don't show you that, do you? If you click on it in the App Store, it just says owned or whatever.
Oh, maybe it's free. Maybe I was wrong about the price.
I don't know. I mean, I got it like when it first came out, and it was definitely free then. But I don't know if they started charging for it if it was a special offer or quite what. Get the fuck off me, cloud. So, what have you been watching on TV?
I've been meaning.
I fucking died.
So last time we recorded this, we were talking about the fact that Game of Thrones was being released.
Mm-hmm.
I have Game of Thrones. I haven't watched any. I'm like kind of struggling between watching it and not watching it. We said this before. We talked about this before.
Have you watched any since you kind of? No, you have it.
I haven't watched any. I haven't watched a single episode. And something about it has been spoiled for me as well, which I won't talk about. But
Cool, because I haven't seen season 5, which is just recently finished, and I've been trying to avoid spoilers, but unfortunately in this day and age, avoiding spoilers equates to avoiding like the internet or any social media.
Yeah, exactly. So we haven't
Dicks.
seen. We haven't
If any of you in any context have put any spoilers for Game of Thrones on Facebook or anywhere, then you're a dick. Sorry, but it is true. I mean, it's this etiquette we're talking about, right?
Yeah, you just gotta be vague at least.
Yeah, just PM each other, man. PM each other, you shitty little image fucking memes or whatever. I don't want to see it. Until I've seen season 5, then I'll be like right there with you. And I've been meaning to watch season 5, but there's so many other things to watch. And they're probably not better than Game of Thrones if we've been objective, but I want to watch them, so fuck you. I bought Hayley for her birthday the box set of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah.
We've been kind of working our way through
every
yeah, season 1 to 9.
We've
Well, my
done
brother
that,
works
but
in HMV, doesn't he? So
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I get some sweet discount on stuff like that.
We've done that, but we've done it one season at a time. I don't think we've got the last season. I think we're up to.
Right.
You've watched it all, haven't you?
No. We just started season 6 yesterday or so.
Yeah. I don't know what season we're on, but I know that we still don't know
Right.
who she is. So. But yeah, I've been watching. I've cut out from House, and just recently I watched one episode of House, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, House is something that I used to love House, and I still love House, but I haven't watched it in so long. But that was something that me and Hayley used to watch, like when we first got together. So she would come to my house and we would watch like DVD box sets, and then because she liked it so much, or because she liked me so much, she went and bought the DVD box sets as well. So when we first moved in together, it was like, oh, we now have like 2 copies of the first 4 seasons of House or whatever, and the first couple of seasons of Family Guy. Like, I guess you probably didn't have this problem because you and Maz were together from quite a young age.
We met very young.
Yeah.
We do have we have 3
Consolidating
copies.
all your duplicates.
We have 3 copies of the Toxicity album by System of a Down.
Nice.
I don't know
You can
how-
have 2, like one for the car,
Yes.
one for the kitchen, I guess.
There's always got to be one playing
Listen
in
to
one room.
Texas. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, which is really weird because there are only two of us.
Yeah, no, I know. We have 3 copies of Nightmare Before Christmas on DVD. Yeah.
How did that one happen?
I don't know.
Because the third copy of the System of a Down, the Toxicity album we have is like a special edition or something. I can't remember what's it. I don't think there's anything different on it. I think it's got a couple of live tracks at the end or something.
Right, great.
Um,
Live tracks. Way to push the boat out, guys.
I love watching bands live, but for some reason I don't like listening to them live. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I like
Live songs. I always found that really like disappointing. Unlike Guitar Hero or Rock Band or whatever, you'd go through the songs that you could buy, and it'd be like, oh, this song live, and you're like, oh, that's disappointing. I just want the song as I know it from the CD, especially if it's one that you're going to be singing along to, like on Guitar Hero 3 or Rock Band or something, because like it's different live. They have different cadence and rhythm and energy and stuff. So you have to hear it a few times before you know how it sounds. On Rock Band 3, I think it is, they have, and like, I guess I learned to love it, but they have a live version of one of my favourite songs of all time, which is State of Love and Trust by Pearl Jam. And I just fucking love that song so much. It's my song. It's totally my song, you guys.
I don't think I listened to it.
It's my jam. Ha, it's my jam. My Pearl Jam. Terrible. So I'm not a huge fan of like live versions of songs, unless it's like you say, like even a DVD, like a live DVD, they can be killer. They the live Slipknot DVD they did for, was it Disaster Pieces? I think it was. I think that was the name of the DVD. It was fucking killer. It was so good. So much energy. I wish I had the ability to stay that angry into like my 30s and beyond. And like my all the anger I had as a youth kind of dissipated into bitterness and cynicism. You know, it like boiled down to its kind of base exasperation.
So I watched or heard, I can't remember where I heard this, but Corey Taylor talking about the Iowa album. And him saying like it was such a dark album for him to say it's like the darkest thing he's ever heard and things like that.
I love that album. That album ironically got me through some pretty grim times. And it probably didn't, like, I probably could have listened to something like Bob Marley or something and been a much happier person for it. It probably exacerbated. It's like listening to Korn, like, it got me through. It's like it didn't get you through anything. It made you worse. It made you more.
It created the problem.
Yeah, big time. And it's true. Like to this day, like Issues by Korn just bums me out. I can't listen to it without it taking me by the hand to a dark place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or if I'm like on my own, like listening to it, like if I'm listening to it at a party with you guys or whatever, and I'm like, oh, it's Korn, Jonathan Davis. He cries every syllable he sings along. And there's some fucking killer music on that, in all fairness.
Yeah.
Some of the songwriting on that is fucking...
It's interesting how you've mentioned
stellar.
Those two albums, because those are the, like, in terms of, for Slipknot, I only ever listened to that album.
Growing Purple. What, Iowa?
Yeah, that's the only album I ever listened to from
No way, really?
Yeah. And Issues, I think, I've heard more of than any other album by Korn. I don't know if those were their biggest albums, but I do know that those are the albums that
why? Oh, I need to talk about that now. See, why Iowa? That's some dark business, man.
Well, it was the album that was released when I got into that stuff. You know, I think everyone else got into it just before me. I was the copycat, I guess. So yeah, Iowa was the newest album at the time. They were releasing songs from that album. There was, I think it was Left Behind. Was when I got into Slipknot, so I was like, gonna get that album. And yeah, it was really, really dark.
Yeah, big time. I love that album, but I have to be like I can listen to that more readily than I can listen to Issues. But I have to be
But
in a
Issues
certain mindset to do either.
I think that's
It's not the same mindset, but
Is that not something to do with like the? You said you were in a dark place at the time. That must be more to do with that because Issues is a lot more upbeat and
do you think?
if I'm thinking of the right album, maybe I'm thinking of a different album.
You could well be.
But there's the album with Hey Daddy on it.
Yes, yeah, I think that's Issues.
Yeah, it sounds like quite an upbeat album.
See, I want to listen to the album now because the music on it. Like, I think Jonathan Davis is a good singer, but I find him a little bit whiny.
Really?
Yeah, I think he cries like for a grown man. He cries a lot.
Do you know what? I'm not even sure if I noticed any of that stuff when I was listening to it.
Like he's a fantastic vocalist. I love Korn. I do. Unfortunately, the same as like a lot of things, like they're not a patch on what they used to be. But just musically, I could listen to Korn. Like Issues is such a good. There's some. I like the kind of. They're really quirky like riffs and things on there, and sounds and stuff like quite unique.
I thought his vocals were very quirky and unique.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
But I never noticed any like crying or anything. I'll have to give it another listen now you've said that, and it might ruin the music for me.
It's possible, but
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like, you can appreciate it for what it is, and like he's a good singer. So even if he is like, and that's so you know that I'm a fan of vocals and stuff,
Yeah.
and the human voice and things.
That's what music's all about for you. Is the vocals,
Oh,
isn't it?
absolutely, like, absolutely it is. I know people who love instrumental bands, and I've never really enjoyed instrumental bands because I'm just like, when's the song gonna start? Because the song doesn't start like. I'll hear an instrumental song and then there'll be 3 or 4 different points where I'll be like, oh, this would be a really good place for like the singer to start crooning away or whatever. Crooning like Tom Jones. But yeah, no, it's all about vocals, and
Yeah, I just
Jonathan
realised.
Davis is good at that, but I think his subject matter, I don't know, like, so some of their first album, he was a lot younger, obviously, than he is now, because time is a progressive thing. He's not going to be younger than he was back in, like, the late 90s. But some of the things he wrote, some of their biggest songs about, are just, like, just whiny crap. Like, I think it was Clown off the first album was written because the dude tried to punch him.
Yeah.
And I was like, in all fairness to the guy, right, if you can write a song about a guy trying to punch you,
Not a guy that has punched you, just one that wants to.
yeah, right. Right. So if I could write a song on that experience that performed half as well as that song did,
Yeah.
I'd be richer than him right now. You know,
Yeah.
the amount of people that have tried to swing at me because I'm a dick. No, that's not fair. I'm a nice guy.
They were totally right to.
Yeah, yeah, they were fully justified. Like, I would swing at me if I could. So is it just because Iowa? Because that's what I'm more interested in than Korn. Because Korn are kind of an acquired taste. They are who they are. But Slipknot have had like some fantastic stuff since Iowa. So is it just a case of they're not a band that you particularly like, or
Now.
just in general?
So
Like,
so at the time, if I was offered, because you know when I was a kid, I didn't have any money or anything like that. I couldn't buy albums very often, so I had like 3 albums, and I was one of them at one point. And
and now they're all Toxicity.
and
There's 3 albums you own, they're all just Toxicity.
just save up for another Toxicity.
It's ironic that you would save up for another Toxicity when you could just go and steal a copy of Steal This Album.
You could do.
I don't think like HMV or whoever would be very happy with it, but
You just follow
Serge
instructions.
Tankian would be fine. He'd be like, I don't care.
But now, no, I wouldn't buy a Slipknot album now.
But you have like a subscription to Google.
Yeah,
Music,
so I've got a
so-
Google, but I wouldn't listen to this Slipknot album now.
Why is that?
Well,
I guess like that kind of rock and metal isn't really your
yeah,
cup of tea anymore.
my taste in
What about
music
you?
has changed quite significantly. I like a lot of music, a lot of different styles, but rock is something that's always been there. But very, very heavy rock like that, like I just can't anymore. I don't feel like I've got the energy, which is weird because I listen to some types of music that sound like they've got a lot of energy in, but not into the direction of anger, I guess. Whereas
Yeah.
rock seems very anger oriented, doesn't it?
How pretty is this level?
Yeah. The what was that, like 6 layers
I
or
just,
something?
just
in the
wanted
background?
to bring that back to your attention for a second.
That was beautiful, yeah. That was like 6 layers back there, wasn't it?
Could be. I wasn't counting.
But yeah, like I had the anger when I needed it when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and I don't need
And
it.
you
right
do
now.
like you need it to like survive, don't you? It's like a mechanism. At least 6. I'm just gonna die, aren't
Ah, it looks wonderful.
I? Yeah, I've hit a wall. Ironically, I've hit a wall by not hitting a wall.
I think I've seen screenshots of this level where there's something at the top, isn't there? Is it like
Yeah, that's right.
something in the? Is it called a death egg or something
Yeah, that's right.
in the roof of this cave?
I would say the Slipknot's third album, Volume 3, was, I wouldn't say it's their best album, but I've just died, I've just fucked this up, so I'm just going to fall and die.
Sweet.
It's the most complete album they've ever done, in that it's the most cohesive piece of work, it's not just, so some of their albums, especially like their album, I mean their latest album definitely, but to a larger extent the album before it, All Hope Is Gone, just sounded like a collection of songs they've written.
Oh really?
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing, but
Which was the album immediately after one of their members died?
that was the most recent one,
Okay.
Volume 5, The Grey Chapter. It's okay. It reminds me of a Stone Sour album, not because Corey Taylor lol, but because the songs that are on it, and this is how after the first Stone Sour album, this is how I would characterize every Stone Sour album. The songs on it that are good,
Yeah.
and the songs on it that are bad are just like ball-achingly poor and boring.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Like filler?
not even filler, just bad, just like from a non-self-aware point of view. Like, they don't realise the song's bad. I will state though that is a big exception, mentioning their first album, because I think Stone Sour's first album was fucking phenomenal. I love that album. It's just, apart from the first song, Get Inside, everything after that is just fucking amazing. I love that album so much. But yeah, so Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses is the full name of the album. Go buy it on Amazon.com, Slipknot, if you want to pay us some money for that, that'd be sweet. No, I think that's their most cohesive piece of work to date, and it's such a good album. I'd recommend it. If you've ever liked Slipknot, it sounds very different. It was one of those things, because of Iowa, like all the critics were like, oh, every other word is a swear word, this guy can't write a song without like using curse words as a crutch or whatever.
Oh, they
So there's no-
responded to that, did they?
Yeah, there's no swearing on the album at all.
Yeah.
He uses the word, I think bitch and bastard are in there, but bastard is like in a spoken intro to a song. It's not even like part of the song or a
Right, I see,
lyric.
yeah.